friends, and welcome back to Old Mill Homestead. So today we have some things in from the garden and I'm wanting to get them preserved. So we have some banana peppers and some cucumbers, and then we also have some zucchini and a few little tomatoes. We've kind of been giving them out to family and neighbors for a little bit, but I wanted to get the banana peppers and the cucumber preserved. And this is the first time I've ever done anything like this, so we'll see how it goes. Let's go. So I've got 2 zucchini from the garden that I want to make zucchini bread with, which I'm going to do that later. I've got a video on zucchini bread I can link for you. Here are the cucumbers that I've gotten that I want to make some pickles with. I have a couple of bell peppers that I've gotten, 1 little jalapeno, and then all of these banana peppers. So what I'm wanting to do today is tackle these 2 things, and then I'll make zucchini bread for us a little bit later. But I wanted to go ahead and work on getting this preserved up. Like I said, I've never done this before, so we're just gonna do it. What I've seen is supposed to be quick and simple, so we'll do that. Let you take a look at some sauerkraut that our neighbor gave us. A cabbage that was 17 pounds of cabbage. So my husband likes sauerkraut, I do not, so I ended up making 5 of these, and then I fed the rest to the goats. I could have made more, but I've never done this either, so I wasn't sure. So that's one thing we've preserved so far this year. So let's get started on this. So the first thing I want to do is to get these cucumbers washed up. I've got 3. This one is by far the biggest one that I have, and then I've got 2 smaller ones. So I'm going to get those washed up, and then we're going to slice them. I am so excited. That came out of our garden, friends. We grew this. Okay, so I'm trying to think how to cut these. That looks pretty good to me. I'm taking this recipe just off one I found online, and I will link it below. Again, this is all new. I've never done this before. So we have our pickles all cut up. I did manage to nick my finger. I get very nervous cutting. So to our bowl, we're gonna do 1/2 cup of water. This is filtered water from our Berkeley. Now it calls for rice vinegar. I do not have rice vinegar, so we're gonna do apple cider vinegar. Another recipe that I saw called for that. And it's also 1/2 cup. So we're gonna add that to the mix. So some of these things I don't have on hand specifically that it calls for, so I kind of bobbed and weaved, right? So we need We need 1.5 tablespoons of maple syrup or sugar. So I'm gonna use sugar because that's what I have. those weren't completely full. So that's a tablespoon and a half. And then we need a tablespoon and a half of fine sea salt. I looked at the store this past weekend forever for fine sea salt and could not find any. So I got pink Himalayan salt. So we're just gonna add that. It's supposed to be the same, a half tablespoon. Probably good. And then we're gonna add a 1/4 of a teaspoon of red pepper flakes. So just some red pepper flakes. Like that. 20 twists of black pepper. Okay, and then we need to add 2 leafy sprigs of fresh dill, roughly chopped. So I do have some fresh dill. And we need 2 we're gonna do 3 because those 2 are pretty small. We're gonna do 2. Or I'm sorry, we're gonna do 3. Of the dill, because like I said, those 2 are pretty small. Sprinkle that in. Smells so good. Okay, we need some garlic, 2 cloves of garlic, peeled and smashed. Didn't say to chop it, but I just kind of chopped it up just a little bit. It also says there's one more ingredient that I do not have. And that's fine. So we're just gonna kind of stir all of this together and get it nice and combined in there. So this recipe calls for a wide mouth jar. So we're going to, I might have to cut these just a little bit to make sure I have enough headspace in there. Some of them are a little shorter than others. That's fine because we'll just eat that. It says they should be tightly packed, and they are that for sure. Okay. This, so we're going to pour this over top. Okay. Our pickles, I'm just gonna kind of do that a little toss just to kind of get all of that nice and mixed together. I'm gonna top it. I've got just a couple that are just a smidge tall. I'm gonna top it with just a splash of that, and then just a little bit, equal part water, just to make sure everything is covered. And then I'm gonna toss it again just to get everything evenly combined. And we have refrigerator pickles. Woo! So that was pretty awesome. Like I said, you can probably see mistakes that I made. This is the first time, aside from the sauerkraut, which was the technically first time I've ever preserved anything, that I've ever done anything like this. So it's all a learning process, but it's the fact that you don't get frozen in fear and you just keep doing it, right? You just start and do it and get better every year and every year. And we're gonna have plenty of zucchini and cucumber throughout the garden season, as well as tomatoes. So let's get going on our second project. Okay, so the second preserving project we're gonna do is the banana peppers. So I need to get these washed up, and we're gonna preserve some banana peppers. What I don't use, I'm gonna take to our neighbor. She loves banana peppers and wasn't able to plant any this year. And we still have tons coming in from the garden. So I've taken her a couple fresh ones. Nick's eaten some just off the vine, and then I want to preserve some. So let's get started with that. Let me give these a quick wash. So we're gonna bring, it calls for distilled vinegar, white vinegar, distilled white vinegar. It calls for apple cider vinegar, a cup of sugar, some mustard seed, and some celery seed. I do not have celery seed. That's okay. We're gonna get all of this going in a boil. So let me go ahead and add a cup of sugar. So there's our cup of sugar. And then we need 2 cups each of apple cider vinegar and distilled vinegar. So there's 1 cup. 2 cups of apple cider, and then we need our white distilled vinegar. There's 1 cup, and then 2 cups of that, and mustard seed. The mustard seed, we need 1 teaspoon, so this is a half, so I'm going to put 2. And we're gonna bring this to a boil. So I'm just gonna stir that around. And we're gonna bring this to a rolling boil. That's really hard for me to say. Rolling boil. Anyway, rapid boil. We'll go with that. We're gonna bring it to that. I'm gonna clean up while we're waiting on that, and we'll be right back. Okay, so we are where we need to be. My jar is slightly warm. Whoo, you can smell that vinegar. Leave a little bit of headspace there. Back. So I'm just gonna tighten that. And we have our second. So I did smaller ones and then I did bigger ones because he likes both. So he can add them to a pizza, eat them whole, do whatever he wants to do. So he can do whatever he wants to do with them. I don't eat banana peppers. I grew them for him. That's one of the 2 things he asked for specifically in the garden was banana peppers. And then I found out via locking myself out of my house, my in-laws house, and my car when I was hanging out with the neighbor for an hour, that she loves banana peppers and she wasn't able to grow any this year, so we're taking some to her. Nick's eating some out of the garden. So let me give you a shot of both preserving projects we did today. I know it doesn't seem like a lot to you, but it's huge to me because I've never done it before, and it's pulling something out of my garden that we actively grew and making something with it that my family can enjoy, family and friends can enjoy. Here we have it, our banana peppers preserved. We'll let that cool off and I'll put that in the fridge. Should be good to go in about a week. And then the pickles, and that's it. That's our that's everything we preserved today. I am gonna do some zucchini bread, but you've already seen that recipe, so I'll post it in the description box below. As always, friends, thank you for joining us. This is a learning experience for me. It's been a learning experience, and we'll go into detail more on that on the garden tour, but I'm super excited we got those 2 preservation projects done. So we will see you in the next one, friends. Bye.